Yo, Big D here, and ready to talk all things Masters. You know, greatest Sunday in golf, maybe the greatest Sunday in sports. Final round in Augusta, and we saw why today with so many crazy storylines. But in the end, Roy McIlroy successfully defends his Masters. So does that mean Roy's got to put the green jacket on himself? No, I think the one. I think the one. I think somebody with the Augusta National Golf Club will give Roy his green jacket. So I'm talking all things Roy, Cam Young, Scotty, all things craziness, Grand Slams, history. And I'll even have some trivia your way based on Roy's defense of green jacket. But final round Augusta. Um, you know, I think there's something to not just the golf course but the setting. I mean, beautiful weather all week, no rain. I think it's one of the rare Masters in recent time without any rain. But honestly, there's nothing better in golf. I mean, Pebble may bring out the beauty. St. Andrews brings the history, but Augusta brings out the tradition. Today we saw the finals of Augusta. We saw some great shots from holes for Eagle, Jordan Speed for 13. I think there was a hole out 7. There were bad shots. Some shots made you go like, what happened? I mean, Hal Tom Lee made a 10, a quintuple bogey, and that was after making triple at 12. Oof. 8 over on 2 holes, not good. And I think in many ways today, Roy was able to handle himself. Frankly, I said doing some. I just said something to my folks doing some of the golf. Roy must give his fans aneurysms because Roy never does things easy, and you know what? That's one of the great things about Augusta, being able to handle your nerves. And despite being up 6, Roy was the 90th ranked golf in terms of accuracy. It clearly looked like to me Roy skewed accuracy for distance and almost bit him in the what yesterday. Hit the water shot at 11, but able to bounce back. And today, I think Roy was able to handle himself and make enough putts, make enough birdies, make those timely pole saves, get up and in. And we saw the good, the bad, the ugly, and maybe the nervy of Roy. There's a reason why only now 4 men have successfully defended Masters titles. And all 4 of those guys are legends. It's one thing if you're defending the BMW Championship or Wells Fargo. Okay. But the Masters is probably the hardest event to repeat. Not only with the champions and with all the great Masters champs, but everybody's asking you for an interview. And now now everybody expects you to win because you've won Augusta. So it's like, can you do it again? And Roy going, 16, 17 years before winning, still dealing with the pressure, still dealing, can he be the next Tiger Woods? Not just the Nike logo, but um, everybody expects, when you're Rory McIlroy, you're all expected to win majors. It's one thing to win Pebble Beach or whatever, but you've got to win majors. And for a long time, Rory McIlroy never won a major, which is crazy. How did Rory McIlroy, the most talented golfer of this modern era, not win more majors for a decade? I don't know. But I think, Roy finally got the proverbial monkey off his back, and we're seeing a more relaxed Roy. I mean, but there are also moments of, nerviness. I mean, we even saw it on Sunday, Paul in the second hole. Not necessarily the best tee shot, but getting up and in for birdie at 3. And then the fourth hole was just a complete mess. I mean, not the best tee shot. I mean, 4, 5, and 6 are brutal holes. 3 of the hardest holes in at Augusta. And Roy didn't hit a bad second shot, but then 2 awful putts, and then made double. And it's like, oh no, here we go again. And then 5th hole, actually played the hole really well, got in for Paul. But then the 6th hole, bogey, then it's like, uh-oh. But then Roy redeemed himself with back-to-back birdies at 7 and 8. 2 of the 7 today especially was fairly easy. 8's a hole, guys have to birdie. And then Paul 9, 10, 11. And in birdie 12 and 13. I said before the week 12 is going to be the most important hole. Not 13, not 15. Because I think most of the guys would probably make birdie. But could you potentially steal one on 12? And Roy got the birdie. And then, birdie 13. And then, not necessarily the best, probably more nervy shots coming in. Great up and in at 16. Great up and in at 17. And 18, the drive went so far right, it's like, where's the ball? And then even the second shot, it's like, where's the ball? But it was semi-plug, but Roy was able to get it out there, make a nice two-putt, easy tapping bogey, and wins the 90th run of the Masters. And you know what? Even though Roy's got the Grand Slam now, I think most of the patrons still wanted Roy to win. He's that well liked, but you could argue in that case, being the most popular golfer on tour probably puts extra pressure on Roy. And being the defending champ, everyone wanted Roy to do well. Well, and maybe that pressure is hard, but, Roy was able to handle his emotions and, despite not playing great this weekend, playing just well enough and showing his class, maybe the win caught out everybody, but able to himself. And, maybe Roy and Scotty could give us a few years like what Phil and Tiger did, where they went back and forth. Maybe we finally get that duel where Roy and Scotty win 5 of the next 8, 10 majors. Because I think golf needs a rivalry. I think golf needs, not that Roy and Scotty are enemies, but that you could say in many ways Roy and Scotty have separated themselves from the field. And in many ways, I think what matters is that can these guys be there? Because if Scotty and Roy are there every single major, I think golf's in a good place. If these guys go mano a mano, the problem is when one guy is dominating, wins all the majors. But if 2 guys or 3 guys or 4 guys, maybe Xander could figure out a way to get another major or 2. Maybe John Rahm could figure out a way of getting another major or 2. Maybe Bryson DeChambeau can stop breaking my heart and missing every freaking major that I pick him to win. Darn you, Brian. I mean, yeah, and I think in many ways the separation with Roy was how well he played the first 2 days. If you look at Scotty, Scotty just dug himself way too far behind the 8 ball. I mean, Scheffler, the first 2 round shot even par. I mean, he went 70 and 74, and it's like he's done. But then he shot 765, and today he shot 468. And Scotty did not play his best. I mean, there were a couple of great par saves from what 6th and 7th, but I I bet you Scotty is not disappointed with how he played during the weekend, but disappointed with how he played the first 2 days. Because the first 36 holes cost Scotty another green jacket. Despite this, birdie at 1, birdie at 3, 15 and 16. Maybe Scotty could have done a little more on the par 5s, but Scotty's always in the major fight, and you know what? This year, I think Scotty wants the U.S. Open. He wants that Grand Slam. You know what? That would be a pretty good birthday present. Turning 30 and winning a United States Open, getting that Grand Slam, and you know what? I think it would be fitting if Scotty Scheffler won the Grand Slam at Shinnecock on Father's Day when he's got 2 kids now. So, you know what? Maybe Rory and Scheffler could become Phil and Tiger, and we get 5-6 years of 2 of the best golfers ever. Because Rory's got 6 majors now. Scotty's got 4. Maybe these guys end up in double digits. Nobody's going to catch Jack, but could these guys win 8, 10 majors? Because I don't think anybody is beating Roy or Scotty if these 2 guys play anywhere near their best. I mean, it's crazy how well Scotty and Roy have played in majors the last couple of years. And what's going to happen the rest of the year? Because this is just the first major of the season. Cam Young is probably one of the most interesting golfers in the world. Hits the ball a long way, but the last 9-10 months or so, I'm not sure anybody's playing better than Cam Young outside maybe Roy and Scotty. I mean, number 3 in the world golf rings, and for a long time today, I'm like, Cam Young's going to win this tournament. I mean, birdie at 2, but then bogeys 6 and 7, birdie at 8, bogey at 9. Then the back 9 just seemed like he could never get something going. I mean, 9 straight pars, which at a U.S. Open would be fantastic, probably win, but not Augusta. Maybe Cam's lack of experience, but Cam's been in big major spots. Open, PGA a few years ago, Ryder Cup players. Cam's got experience. Maybe Cam's needs a touch more around the greens, but I think Cam's more capable. And you know what? I think Cam Young is due for a major. That guy's playing way too well. Well, and I feel like he is capable of winning a major in the very near future. Russell Henley. Russell Henley may surprise people, but Henley's a really good ball striker, really good putter. Maybe not the longest hitter, but a Georgia Bulldog. Birdie 1, 4, 7, and 8. That birdie at 4 was something. Something on a hard par 3. Bogey 12, birdie at 13. Gonna be there. Contention. And again, Terrell Haddon, great final round 66, holing out at 7 birdies, 13 through 16. So taking advantage maybe of the easier scoring. But I don't know what it is, but it's just I know what people, especially in the UK, are going to say. Is Justin Rose going to win it? Going to win it, Augusta? And I'm like, I don't know because he's third. At least not second, but he's third. I mean, Justin Rose is always there in contention, but just never quite able to put his arms through the green jacket. Birdie at 1, bogey at 3. Not really a great bogey there on a hole. Guys are making 3. Great birdie at 5. I mean, Hal Rose made a birdie on one of the toughest holes on the course. And birdies 7, 8, 9, but then bogeys 11, 12, 17. Just not enough birdies on the back 9 to threaten Roy or Scotty. But class is ever. Justin Rose is always in contention. In many ways, I think showing his professionalism, despite not necessarily not necessarily having the winningness, but showing what he's capable of doing. I mean, 45. I mean, how many more Masters will Justin Rose nearly come close? It's got to be. I mean, it's got to be frustrating thinking Justin Rose is going to win. It's going to win another major. He's going to win a green jacket. Well, another year has come and gone. Now what? But you know what? As they say, there's always next year. And I could all but guarantee you this: Justin Rose is going to come back next year and give it one whale of a shot. And if Rose is able to get a green jacket, I don't think there'll be one person, whether in the locker room or patron, wishing ill will his way, because Rose is one of the classiest guys in golf. And I don't think there's any problem with that. Sam Burns is probably wondering what the heck happened on the pole 5 second, because he birdied 1 and looked like Sam was going to be in major contention, but then disaster, I think, took an unplayable at 2, then doubled, then bogey 3, made a pulled out the rest of the front 9, bogey 10, made some moves 13, 14, 16, bogey 17, but Sam's always a great putter, and that can get him out of trouble, but got to keep a few more drives in play, and maybe Sam Burns could be in the major run. I mean, Colin Morikawa, 5 in a row, 12 through 16. I mean, backdooring his way into a top 10, showing his back's ready to rumble. Maybe Colin Morikawa will like the PGA Championship, because shorter layout and a run mix, maybe one where drivers aren't necessarily at a huge advantage. We'll see, because you can't wait for the PGA coming up next month, then the Open Shinnecock, U.S. Open Shinnecock, then the Open at Birkdale in July. So, roughly 20 minutes in here. I'm the trivia savant. So, I'm gonna give you a flashback to Monday's Masters preview with Matt Vincenzi, where we discussed 1-7 matter. Yep. Anybody wants to fool me with trivia? I've got I've got Google AI in my head with useless trivia. Yes, Rory McIlroy is now one of 4 golfers who have successfully defended their Masters title. That being Jack Nicklaus, Nick Faldo, and some guy by the name of Tiger Woods. A really good list. Closer list. I mean, smaller list than guys who've won Grand Slam. So Roy's on 2 lists. And who's to say Roy couldn't win another Grand Slam, couldn't win another Masters or 2? He might have a few green jackets in the closet before long. So, you know what? Congratulations to Rory McIlroy for winning his 2nd straight Masters. And all the golf fans in Hollywood, not California, but Northern Ireland. And I bet you those fans are drinking a whole bunch of pints tonight. And they're going to have toast to Rory McIlroy forever. So, thanks for tuning in to Dylan's Big D's recap of Rory McIlroy winning the 2026 Masters. We will be back with more episodes. Driving the Top Productions, Spunky Spectrum Sports, Big D Podcast. You name it, we have it. This is Dylan signing off for now.